the pink diamond theory. This will change your entire perspective. One day, a man found the most beautiful, rare pink diamond, and he gave it to his daughter and said, "Go take this around the village and see how much you can get for it. See how much people will buy it from you for." Following her father's instructions, the girl first goes to her town's bakery. She walks in, holds out the diamond for the baker to see. The baker asks how much for the diamond, and the girl holds up 2 fingers. The baker goes, "Oh, only $2 for such a beautiful diamond? I'll take it." Knowing that the diamond is definitely worth more, but thinking since it's a young girl, he could get away with just paying those $2. But the girl knows the diamond's worth, and she decides to pass on the deal and keep looking. Hoping for some better luck, the girl goes to the antique store next. She walks in, holds out the diamond when the man working asks how much for the diamond. She holds up her 2 fingers again, and he says, $200? I don't think so. The antiquer does not see the actual worth of the diamond, and he's not willing to spend even $200 on it. So the girl says fine and takes her diamond away, hoping for better luck elsewhere. Finally, the girl takes her pink diamond to the jeweler. When asked the price, she holds up her 2 fingers once again, and the jeweler says $2 million? That's a fair price for such a beautiful gem. I'll take it. The jeweler is able to see that this is such a rare, beautiful stone that will probably only come around once in his lifetime, and he is willing to pay however much it takes to obtain and care for this stone. So good thing the girl didn't sell her beautiful pink diamond to the people who were hardly willing to pay anything for it, and waited for the person who finally saw its worth and was willing to pay whatever it took. Do you guys get what I'm getting at? Not every single person you come across in life is going to see your worth. Don't you want to be like, here, look at my shiny pink diamond. Look at how beautiful and perfect and sparkly and rare it is. But if it's not in their budget, they're going to try to rip you off for it. They're going to try to give you way less and make it feel like that's what you deserve. If you haven't caught on by now, you are the pink diamond. If someone doesn't recognize you as valuable, you have to take that rejection as redirection and hold on to the belief that there is something else coming for you. If someone doesn't see your worth, the next person will, and you have to truly believe that. You cannot force someone to see your worth. If some baker thinks you are worth $2, you have to remember that there is someone out there who is willing to give you everything, and just be patient and wait for them instead of saying yes to the wrong person. They can't recognize your high value qualities because they can't even see them within themselves. People can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. So if they don't see you, they simply aren't on your level.
My waistline used to be like 24.5 to 25.5, and I'm now at 23.5 to 24.5. Like, it's crazy that I'm at 24 when I'm full. Get ready with me for an event while I finally tell you how I lost weight. Like around this much. So before I start spilling everything, I just have a tiny request for you guys to finish the whole video. It's really not for the views, but it's just because I want to make sure that whatever information you hear from me is going to be complete and safe for you guys, and you'll also know what to expect during and after what I did. Now let's move on to my background, like my history with workouts and diets. Slay. So for my body history, I was never really more on the heavier side, and so it kind of makes it harder to lose weight, and I always wanted to. Like, I'd feel more comfortable and confident with taking my content, especially as a content creator. And also, I used to dance back in high school. Like, I was trained and everything. I've been dancing for years. I was working out 4 times a week for several years as well. I was lifting weights. I also tried running. I also do indoor cycling and boxing. And then as for my diet, I also tried like intermittent fasting, keto, calorie counting. Basically, when it comes to working out or diet, I've really tried a lot before doing this. And also, the thing is, this was kind of coincidental for me. Like, it wasn't really a planned workout or a diet or anything. It really just happened, and it turned out to have significant results, which is crazy. Before I say it again, please finish the video so you know what to expect and everything during and after what I did. So if you're wondering, no, I have not been working out. I have not been suffering. Thankfully, I also don't have an eating disorder, and I am not sick sick. I had to check, but I'm not sick. But I do get sick often. So here's the story. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. So I got this coach who is the coach of my friend who has like massive results. Like I really saw it. And so I signed myself up, and then he had this like really strict diet, and it was just so crazy to me, especially because I came from really friendly coaches and nutritionists and everything, very sustainable methods. But I don't know, like I just really wasn't losing the weight that I wanted to lose. And so in my head, I was like, okay, let's try it out because this really worked on my friend, and my methods haven't been working as effectively, or maybe in a way where I'm not suffering with food or working out twice a day. So my coach told me to stop working out for now because he wants me to go on a 3-month no sugar diet. And as a carbs, rice lover, I was so shocked. Like, the moment I heard it, I felt so suffocated. But I mean, I guess if it were easy, I could have gotten the body that I wanted years ago, right? And so, you know what? I tried it out. I had no carbs, no sugar, no fruit, no fried foods, no dairy, certain vegetables weren't allowed. It was so crazy that I wasn't even allowed to work out for the first 2 weeks, just so my body could adjust and adapt to the diet. Also, because I felt so weak, especially on the 5th until maybe 10th or 9th day. Like, I'd catch myself holding on a table or a wall to just support my weight. My energy was just so low, but it's already expected, so that's something you can expect. But the days after that, I felt better. I felt like my body has already adjusted. But also, since the diet really was not sustainable for me, I felt like my mental health wasn't doing so well, and so I ended it on the 2nd week. So I just did it for 2 weeks, and after that I tried working out, but I also failed because my schedule was so busy and it just wasn't working out for me anymore. So I also ended up completely dropping that coach. At the end of those 2 weeks, I lost a little bit of weight, but really not significant. And then after that, I noticed that my appetite was slowly getting smaller and smaller. Like, I just had no gana, or no, I don't know, like my want to eat wasn't that strong anymore, and my cravings were also less, to the point where I was questioning myself, like, am I going through something? I don't think I'm going through anything. Like, I'm still eating whatever I want and I'm not sad or anything, so why am I eating less? And by the way, I did this around April last year, and then July, people started commenting, girl, you lost so much weight. Like, my face really lost weight. Like, even my tightest trousers started to fit on me. And I found that so weird because I wasn't working out. I wasn't dieting anymore. My appetite and cravings were just really low. It was all the way up until December that people were saying that I kept losing weight. Like, continuously losing weight. And again, I was not working out. I was not on a diet. So I even got myself checked, like my health and all. But I was perfectly fine. Besides getting cough and colds, fever, and maybe a few stomach problems from time to time. Because generally, I'm a sickly person. And then in January, after the Christmas break and everything, I started to crave for milk tea a lot. I was drinking milk tea every single day for like 2 months. Also started craving for noodles and etc. And so around mid-March, I tried to do the 2-week no sugar again, but I only succeeded for 1.5 weeks because I had the trip and then I got sick and everything. So basically, it worked again. I'm also at my lowest weight, but that's also because my muscles are kind of gone. And if you're wondering, like, okay, so I don't need to work out at all, because this just proves that diet is really 80% and exercise is just 20%. And genuinely, that's what I thought last year, until I started having body complications this year. Like, I'd be more sickly, I would have lower back pains because apparently my core isn't strong enough anymore. I get tired so easily. Generally, my body has just gotten so weak and it feels so old that I don't like it anymore. So now that I've lost weight, I'm just excited to be stronger. Like, I would not exercise to lose weight anymore. It's really just to get stronger, stamina and strength wise. And so from my experience, I really would recommend the 2-week no sugar, but don't think about it as a diet. Just think about it as like a 2-week sacrifice to reset your appetite and metabolism. It's really not something where you'd see significant results right away. It's really something you'd see months after resetting your appetite and metabolism. I don't encourage overdoing it, like doing that diet while doing intermittent fasting and working out so much for fast results. I just don't think it's necessary, especially because if you overdo it, for me, your relapse might be quicker or be more drastic, and you wouldn't want your hard work to go in the drain. I hope that this video will help you guys with gaining your confidence and being more comfortable about your body. And again, please do it in a healthy manner. Do it where your mental and your lifestyle all works out together. If you have other questions, just comment it so I can answer it. For now, I'm gonna work on my hair. Bye!
I was reading this article about how more single American women own homes than single American men. And then I saw this video of this woman homeowner, and she was talking about how she was quoted an extremely high price for wanting to do some bathroom renovations. And she was like, actually, you know what? I'll just do it myself. Not only will I do it myself, but I'm going to make a video showing other women how to do it because it's really not that hard. And I don't own a home, nor am I doing bathroom renovations, but I watched the video anyways. And she was explaining all the tools you need and all the different ways to do it. And I was like, this is just arts and crafts. This is literally just arts and crafts. Why did men gatekeep construction and renovating homes for so long as if it's not just large scale arts and crafts. And then I saw this other video of a woman who was talking about a date she had where the guy was like, oh, well, tell me about all these guys that I'm in competition with. And she was like, you're not in competition with any other men. You're in competition with me because I love myself and I love spending time with myself and I am at peace. So you, in order to earn a place in my life, you're competing with me. You're competing with my own peace and everything that I bring to my own life. Like, you have to add to my life in order to earn a place in it. And he just looked at her like, what? And this is why I love women. And this is why I love this app, because I just love the way that we're able to find these communities and build each other up. And just, I realize why the men are scared. I realize why they're scared, because we are so cool and we are so capable. And for all of history, they tried to tell us that we're not. And we're finding out that we are. And if you don't know how cool and capable you are, this is me telling you, you're super cool and you're super capable. So go after all those things that you think that you can't, because you totally can.
If you're someone who believes in high maintenance beauty treatments to stay low maintenance, what have you cut? And more importantly, what have you kept? I used to get my nails done every month. I stopped doing that about a year ago. I think I got them done once for my wedding and then that's it. I also used to get lash extensions, stopped that because I had an allergic reaction, which was a blessing in disguise because it saved me a lot of money. I don't do any like laser hair removal. I just shave or wax myself. I forced my sister to learn how to thread so that she could thread my eyebrows, and I plucked them myself in between. The only thing that I've kept in my high maintenance arsenal of beauty treatments is my hair. Essentially, I realized that hair matters the most to me. Like, it impacts how I look the most. No one really notices my nails, but my hair is like the first thing I think people see when they see me other than what's on my face. So I started getting digital perms last year in February, and then I got it done once more in September of last year, and then I'm getting it done this weekend as well. It's quite expensive. It's about $500 after tax and tip at my salon. They're very good though, and it does last quite a while. So this is last from September. I asked for a blowout style and it's still a little bit there. Because I value my digital perms so much and my hair, I realized that I really had to cut down on my other beauty treatments. All my beauty money is now going towards my hair. So I found it interesting that I personally value my hair the most out of all these treatments. So I'm interested to know, what have you cut and what have you kept?
Here are 6 physical glow up tips that I wish I knew sooner as a girl who had a pretty major glow up, if I do say so myself. Hey guys, I'm Kyla. I share glow up tips on here. These tips will help you transform physically to become the best version of yourself. Number 1, your eyebrows will do the talking. Changing your eyebrows to a shape that suits you can literally transform your entire look. Your eyebrows really frame your face. They're probably the most important aspect of your face. I had a horrible microblading job where they were so harsh and did not follow my natural brow line. Only until I lasered off those eyebrows that my face shape completely transformed. Number 2, depuff your face. Water retention can really transform our entire look. This is what I used to look like when I had so much water retention, especially on my face. The only way I solved this was through low intensity exercise that did not strain my adrenal system. The second way was through gua shawing my face every single day, cutting out my alcohol intake, and switching out my caffeine to non-caffeinated teas like dandelion tea that actually naturally de-bloats you. The third one is wearing an SPF every single day. I wish I did this back when I was 12 years old. Your skincare is useless if you aren't incorporating an SPF in your routine. The sun emits damaging free radicals even when it's cloudy outside. Those free radicals contribute to dark marks, contribute to wrinkles, contribute to skin texture. It wasn't until I started incorporating SPF into my routine every single day, even in the dead of winter in Toronto, I started seeing my skin actually be brighter, my skin tone evened out. Move your body. Move your body every single day. Not only will this help de-bloat you, de-bloat your entire body, as well as help in your digestion, it will make you feel so much better. The over-exercising is not good for you. In fact, that will contribute to more water retention, more stress on your entire system. That's why I love Pilates. I do my own workouts called Thrive by Kai. It's linked to my bio. 5, learning the difference between silicone-based makeup and water-based makeup, as well as silicone-based skincare and water-based skincare. If your makeup is looking cakey or unnatural, it might be because you're mixing water-based products with silicone-based products. Well, if you're prone to acne like me, silicone-based products might be breaking you out. My skin cleared up so much when I started only using water-based products. So that was my personal experience, but you need to try for yourself. Finally, practicing a 70-30 way of eating or hara hachibami. which is the practice of eating until you're 80% full. It's really my way of intuitive eating. I do not count calories. I do not believe in that at all. Letting myself have 30% indulgence in every single day. I have ice cream every day. I have chips every day. Most of the food I eat, 70% of it is whole foods, food that we cook at home. And every single day I feel very fulfilled and very nourished and so happy with all the food I ate. I hope this helps. I can't wait to see all of your transformations.
Give me the tea. What's the drama?
I can finally talk about this now because I've gotten blocked everywhere, so here's the tea. Okay, so 2 years ago, I got matched with this guy on Bumble, and mind you, I wasn't looking for anything serious or any kind of relationship. I was just bored. Little do I know, me swiping right on that guy will literally ruin my life. Well, to sum it up, we didn't last. We lasted for like about 2 weeks, and then after that, I got really attached, and I think it developed some limerence. And since I got attached and have limerence on him, I decided I can't let go, so I offered a friendship. At first, it was okay, you know. We've been talking a lot, we've been getting to know each other as friends, we've been opening it up if we're not okay and stuff like that. Then it got to a point where he was telling me that he was sad and he was craving for something. Well, of course, I was being a good friend, so I offered like if he wanted some coffee or something. Well, of course, at first he was declining it, saying that I shouldn't bother doing that. But of course, I didn't want my friend to be sad, so I insisted. But then it turned into like a regular thing. He would tell me that he saw some games that he really wanted, some skins that he really wants to buy. I didn't even know why I said yes to all of that. And oh my god, I remember him telling me one time he left his jacket back home and it was really cold in his class or something, and he really wants to buy a jacket. Then me being dumb, I said yes. Then I immediately sent him money, and then he bought some jacket from H&M or something. I know. But it doesn't stop there. We had our first staycation at around December of 2022. Guess who paid for all of that? The hotels, the car rental, the gas, the food. This dumb bitch right here. In my mind, I was thinking I was such a good friend because every time he was heartbroken from all of the girls that he's flirting with every single week or month, I comforted him, by buying foods, clothes, road trips, whatever. But of course, I didn't stop there. After giving him things like material stuff and mental stuff, guess what I got him next? I gave him myself, physically. I know. Okay, now, so let me defend myself. I met this girl through him, and we became really good friends. But of course, she doesn't know anything about the setup that we had. And mind you, she also has feelings for that guy. I'm telling you, there's something about him that girls fall for. And then when I was at peak of my emotions, because he was slowly pulling away his energy and I didn't know what to do, I opened up to my new friend. And that's when I realized I got manipulated. And prior me telling that friend of mine about our setup, we had like an out-of-town staycation somewhere. And guess who paid for that guy? Bro, I spent around like 60,000 pesos on that guy. I don't know how much it is in dollars, but yeah. So I paid for the car rent, and it was like for 3 days, so it's really expensive. And I paid for that guy's food or whatever it is that we're buying and paying for him. You get the whole setup. But you know what my last was? He pulled his energy away because he claimed that he's a low maintenance friend. I was opening up to him because I was really sad, and he can't even say some comforting words. He told me to see a professional and no one can help me but myself. Like, I get it, no one can help me but myself, or if I seek some professional help. But some encouraging words won't hurt, right? So that's the time that I realized that, oh, he got everything from me now, so he doesn't need me anymore. So I sent him a long message about him hurting me and not being a good friend at all. So yeah, after that I blocked him. That's the tea.
This is a PSA for all the girlies out there who think you're so young and hot and sexy. I used to be on cable television on a hit show with my tits out. Now, I just checked out at Michael's. I'm wearing whatever this outfit is. I'm about to take my minivan back to my home with my 3 children. I'm gonna go to library duty tomorrow. I'm going to volunteer at the book fair. And while this is quite literally the life that I always wanted, I didn't appreciate when I was you just how much I would miss that joie de vivre when the world was literally my oyster. So the next time you put your pert little ass into a great outfit, I want you to really focus on having the time of your life. Because although life does stay good, it changes. And that's okay. That's what life is all about. So wear the outfit, take the trip, have the fun, date the guy who might not be the one. It's okay. You're going to end up there someday, and you will also be shopping at Michael's, and you're going to wonder what all the girlies who used to be you are doing on a random Wednesday night. Enjoy.
You are not his job seeker. You're not supposed to write his resume for him. You're not supposed to make a to-do list in the morning so he gets out of bed and does something. You're not his therapist, and you're not his mom. Please keep that in mind when you're dating him.
This is how my sister passed away from her wisdom teeth. Sammy got her wisdom teeth surgery done, but she didn't finish all her antibiotics because it was making her a lot in the bathroom. So she stopped taking the antibiotics, and then that eventually led her to getting an infection, but she didn't know this at the time. She was getting sick pretty much every month. She was in college at the time. When she would go to the campus doctor, they would just say, oh, it's a cold, oh, it's a flu. But she would be getting sick, I would say, once every month. And then eventually there was a certain point where we didn't see her for a while, and she came back. She was really, really skinny. She lost a lot of weight, and this was during my mom's birthday. So we took her to the hospital right after my mom's birthday, and pretty much they figured it out that it was an infection that was in her blood, and she had endocarditis. She had to get brain surgery and didn't make it for the heart surgery. Another thing also was the doctors and nurses that were taking care of her did not treat her very well. From my family that was with her pretty much every day while I was at school, they told me that the nurses and doctors thought she was on, because she was very skinny and she was sick. Keep in mind, my sister has never done stuff like that. So there were just multiple times where she would ask for things and the doctors and nurses were apparently rude to her. But yeah, I remember after she did her brain surgery, I never was able to talk to her because she couldn't wake up. So I know my dad and my mom said that she did wake up to talk to my dad, and she said her last words to my dad, and then she went to heaven. The reason why I'm making this video is because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how important it is to take their antibiotics after wisdom teeth. And if you do understand that, props to you. But a lot of people that I know didn't realize how serious it was, especially Sammy. And when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, I took it very seriously. So, yeah.
One of my guy friends says where you meet someone will play a huge factor into the relationship. One of my guy friends is absolutely going through it right now. He is going in it, and it as in multiple women, but he is dating around. He's in love with multiple women. He's a total mess. But I always ask him, like, with the roster, I'm like, all right, who's on top? Who's your fave? And he always says this girl, let's call her Lena. He's like, I love Lena. Like, she's literally the best. Like, I'm obsessed with her, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, why do you like her? Like, why did you pick her out of everyone? And he's like, well, it's really like how we met. And I'm like, how'd you guys meet? Normally, he's meeting most of these women out. Like, if they're at a club or they're at a bar, he'll go up to them and be like, yo, what's up? And I've seen him do it, and he pulls, and God only knows how. But he'll do that, or people will DM him, or he'll DM people, and it's like more an online thing. And he's obsessed with this girl, Lena, because he's like, the way we met was so organic. They were at a diner one night, separately, alone, and something happened that they were, like, seated together, or the waiter, like, put them in the same, like, waiting booth or something like that, but essentially a little fate moment that they ended up talking, and now they go out. He loves this story. Like, any chance we'll get, he will always be like, let's talk about how we met. I'm like, no, we were all there. There's really no need. But he is obsessed. Like, he literally is like, that was fate. Like, that just kind of like catalyzed the entire relationship more because it was like so organic and like in person and just like fate. And I was like, oh my God, if that's what it is, I'm going to start standing in Trader Joe's naked.
Do not go back to exes or people from your past. And this is dating advice from a woman in her 30s. Men hardly ever grow, they hardly ever change, and they hardly ever evolve. And I'm not being mean, I'm just being honest. The reason why men don't change, they don't evolve, they don't grow is because they live their lives through their ego. And when you are living a life through your ego, you don't care about anyone else but yourself. You don't care about your surroundings, you don't care about furthering your education, you don't care about the people you date, your family, you only care about yourself. You know that saying, if you let something go and if it comes back, it's yours? Well, that's a lie, and that is bullshit. When you let something go and you let someone go, it's for a reason. As women get older, we decensor men, okay? They are not the first thing on our wish list anymore. And we start to focus on ourselves. We start to grow, we start to change, we become the woman we've always wanted to be. We start to travel more, move to new cities, get hobbies, start different jobs, or go back to school, start a whole different career. We do a lot as women. And what I've noticed as a woman in her 30s is that the men from my past come back. They always come back. And sadly, they are still in the same mindset, in the same place where we last stopped talking. The amount of men that has come back in my life is insane. There's a guy that I used to talk to 7 years ago, he came back. A guy from 5 years ago, he came back. Someone from my high school came back. Someone from 2 years ago decided to come back. And what's sad about this is that they think that I'm just sitting waiting for them. They think that I'm just, at home knitting and balled up in a corner hoping that they're going to reach out to me. And this is not a bashing post. This is just a reflecting post about life and how no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter how far you come in life, men are always going to pop back up. And the reason why men do this is because men think that there's always going to be a woman that wants them. They think they have this sea of women that are lining up to be with them. And then they get older and they realize that no one wants them. So then they start to backtrack to girls that they fumbled, girls they messed up with, and they try to come back to us. No, the door is closed, baby. And this is why I always say, be careful if you're going back to an ex, because 9 times out of 10, there's someone out there that saw his true colors. They didn't want to put up with his bullshit, and they left him. And he's coming back not because he loves you or misses you, because he has no one else. There's no one else that wants him. And they always think the door is always going to be open, but it's not. Women move on, men stay in the past. So, stop wasting your time going back and forth with these men that don't want anything to do with you. If they wanted to put a ring on your finger, they would have.
I don't believe people cheat when they're happy. I'm an expert on infidelity now. I've spent a lot of time with the cheated on and a lot of time with the cheaters. I wish there were good guys and bad guys. There kind of aren't.
I feel like there's got to be more to it if you love the person. Maybe there's a personality trait that's a little more likely to do that.
I mean, wouldn't it be nice if that was true? I'd feel a whole lot safer. Like, I think we all want that to be true, right? Like, when you're little, you get told, like, don't smoke cigarettes, right? And then you hear about aneurysms, where, like, one day you're just sitting there and then you're dead. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. And if you ask a doctor, well, how do I prevent aneurysms? They go, you can't. Well, how do you know you're going to have one? You don't. So how does it happen? God just goes eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then takes you out. Well, what can I do as warning signs? Nothing. You'll have a headache, and then 5 minutes later, you'll be dead. So let's talk about what I can do to increase my chance. Like, I'll do zone 2 cardio. That's good, right? That will help prevent things. Will it prevent aneurysms? Not at all. Like, you want to believe, like, my personality traits and her personality traits are such that we will not cheat on each other. God, man, I wish I could say that to you. I wish I could give you like a BuzzFeed list. Here's the 10 things that you should watch out for. Like, that's going to get a lot of views. It's bullshit. If you want to ask me what personality traits, People who are very short-sighted, trading what you want now for what you want most. That's the definition of discipline.
Yep.
So if you're not someone who can be disciplined in life, you're probably more likely to cheat.
My friend and I came up with this thing we call saving the day. If we spent the whole day working, we do one thing that reclaims the day as our own. It became this fun thing that we used to just casually talk about all the time. If we had a really busy workday, we would reach out to each other and say like, hey, how'd you save the day? I made it out for a surf, or I called my mom and went for a walk, or I made a really delicious meal. There's honestly so many ways you can save the day, and it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. It could even be just making a cup of tea and cozying up with one of your favorite books. Anything that makes the day feel like you had some space in it again. The other thing that's so fun about saving the day is it becomes this fun challenge of like, how am I gonna save the day today? Like, what do I wanna do? It brings the intention back to your day. There are so many ways to save the day, and I can't wait to hear how you guys make your weekdays a little bit more about you.
Here's a tip that will make you never again late for work. First thing you're gonna do when you get there is run to the bathroom. Just go as quick as you can without anybody seeing you, or at least without your manager seeing you. Once you get to the bathroom, you're just gonna fix up, take a minute for yourself, gather yourself as if you had already been there. Make sure you have your uniform on, your hair is back, or however you need to look for work. And then you get out of the bathroom, go to your position spot. If somebody catches you coming out of the bathroom, just be like, oh, hi, act all casual, or act like, oh, I was just here, I had to go to the bathroom, or I had to put my hair up. Like, it's nobody's business. Wait like 10, 15 minutes, or even later on if you want to, and then just go clock in and be like, oh my gosh, I forgot to clock in when I walked in. And nobody will ever suspect that you were late.
I actually just don't understand men and how their brains work sometimes, because today I was just minding my own business and this guy comes up to me and he's like, I just wanted to say that you are so elegant. You are such a natural beauty. Yeah, I think that a woman can take one look at me and be like, that's fake. My jawline cost $10,000. Okay, my lips are clearly fucking done. My hair is $2,000. My lashes are $200 every 2 weeks. I don't understand. This is how much I can raise my eyebrows. And for some reason, and I get it all the time, men are like, you really have enough makeup on to season a fucking wok, and men are just like, you are just. They don't make them like you these days. Yes, they do. They make him down at fucking Matty's Medi Spa, okay? With a needle and a fucking scalpel.
I'm gonna be completely real and honest right now. It's not that Pearl is too masculine or argumentative, these men just think she's ugly. And I'm not trying to simplify it. In fact, I'm a big advocate of digging deeper, but the truth is, men will let you get away with a lot if they find you attractive. Prime example, I'm even more argumentative than Pearl, especially to men. They can tell me an objective fact about themselves and I'll disagree for fun. But you're from LA? No, you're not. You're 6'1". 5'10" at best. You know what? Those who find me pretty don't think I'm masculine. In fact, they find me a challenge, a character to conquer. It feels gross, and I think it's pathetic. Here's my take. This whole thing proves how utterly useless it is to live for the desire and approval of men. Because you will only get male approval in one way, and it's not by agreeing with them, or chasing them, or giving them chances time and time again. It's by fitting a conventional standard of beauty. And morbidly enough, while it might make them desire you, it does not promise respect. In fact, oftentimes, it guarantees a level of dehumanization. It is truly fruitless, and we only do it because we were trained by a system not made for us. A system that rewards women for almost exclusively their reproductive value, but then subjugates them for it. So many women are constantly minimizing themselves to fit this impossible mold of perfection. A template that restricts your passion and extinguishes your soul. I see so much collective longing from women for a younger version of themselves. A version with scraped knees and dirt under their fingernails. One that's unapologetically wild and collects knots in her hair like trophies. You do realize that the difference between that blissfully free little girl and you now is the fact that you're no longer living for yourself. You're instead living for a gruff pat on the back and lingering eyes of people who don't care about the inherent value of that joy and authenticity, but rather the value you hold to them. A value that's defined by the shallow physical expectations of a system that will never find worth in a version of you that's truly happy. So many women, Pearl included, are hunting for this empty approval. Some do it by conforming physically, and others do it by sculpting their personality and opinions into something agreeable. But despite despite the companionship from others lost in the same maze or encouragement from those who created it, the hard truth is it will never be enough. And in the process of chasing the unachievable, you will lose yourself entirely.
I stopped dating around the time when I found out that there are women out here who are giving their boyfriends their work check.
Who the fuck is doing that? Explain yourself. Show yourself and explain yourself. Get up. Who? Someone in the comments said, every time I think the bar's in hell, there's a woman trying to prove it goes lower. Who is doing this?
If you want princess treatment, don't look for a guy. Become a content creator. Someone said that on here, and as much as I love to spoil myself, this argument has some merit. So let's go all through my beauty gifts from the last week, 2 weeks. Let's start with one of my favorites, L'Occitane. You guys know how much I love L'Occitane products, and one of them is the Gel Douche, which is their shower oil. So actually, you guys have seen me use this before because I've emptied the bottle. So this is the Immortelle Reset or Overnight Serum Reset Oil and Serum. This one is a new that I guess I'm adding to my skincare collection. It's Huile Jeunesse Divine, or the Youth Oil. Let's try that out. I'll let you know. Fun fact, one of my favorite EDTs or eau de toilette is from L'Occitane. It's the Fleur de Cerisier. And since I kind of ran out of it, I did ask him for another bottle. So next is an OG, of course, Happy Skin. And I do have a feeling this is from March. So, and I think there she is. Freaking beautiful, right? Okay, so she sent me, along with this cute bag, which I think would go like this, is travel brushes, I think. So cute. Okay, I actually don't have her original brush collection, sorry Marge, but I'm excited to try this out. I'm flying out to Singapore next week, so this will come in handy. As a huge fan of Heart, I got a package from Luxel. So, let's see. That's so much. Look at that. Okay, glow cleanser. We also have a glow milk, a glow wand, and 2 serums, hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, and the other one is for Radiance Beauty, which is arbutin tranexamic acid. I've never tried this before. I'm gonna research that. And of course, a cream. Thank you so much, Luxel, and Heart, if you see this, je t'aime. Vraiment, je t'aime. We're ending with Issy. These are a bunch of pencils and liners, and I'm pretty sure knowing Issy, they're gonna be so colorful. This is their Precision Fluid Liner in Classic Brown. Ooh. I think this will be my girl, because I'm a classic girly. I've actually been looking for a black liner. Ooh, see this. There's a brush on the other side. But I want to do like a 2000s look, the one that's trending right now with this. Thank you to all the brands that pamper me and make me feel so loved and spoiled. Bye!
I'm back with another super interesting piece of research that I wish everybody knew about. Today, we are talking about behavioral genetics. Of everything I've learned in my career, this piece of information is one that I think about at least once a week. For a little bit of context, psychologists have always been interested in how and why people behave in certain ways. And a longstanding debate used to be, is this more about genetics influencing people's behavior, or is it more about the environment that they live in influencing their behavior? And we have had a consensus for some time that it's both. But the question we're left with is, how much of each is contributing? Is it more about our genes for certain traits? Is it more about our environment for other traits? How about the way that they're interacting with each other in different conditions? We don't conduct these types of experiments in humans to tease apart the effects of our genes from our environment. However, that isn't to say that this world isn't full of, quote, natural experiments where we can glean information from things that are happening organically in society. One of those natural experiments includes identical twins who are separated at birth. So they have 100% exactly identical DNA, but their environments are completely different. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the Jim twins. There's a set of identical twin boys who were born in 1939 in Ohio and separated 3 weeks after birth when their parents got divorced. They were both raised by separate families in Minnesota, 40 miles apart from each other. Both boys were named James by their adoptive parents, but chose to go by the nickname Jim. Their names are Jim Lewis and Jim Springer. Jim Lewis knew that he'd been separated from a twin at birth. Jim Springer had been told that he had a twin, but they had died during childbirth. So at 40 years old, Jim Lewis recruited a researcher, Thomas Bouchard, to help reunite him with his identical twin. And of course, Thomas Bouchard was interested in understanding what similarities these two men might have because their DNA was completely identical, but the environments they grew up in were completely separate. So Jim Lewis and Jim Springer are reunited at the age of 39 years old, and they start comparing notes. First, both of them had a younger brother named Larry. Also, both loved the subjects of math and hated spelling. They both had hobbies in carpentry and woodworking. Both of them bit their fingernails and got migraine headaches. They were both chain smokers, the same brand, Salem, and they both preferred to drink Miller Lite. They both worked part-time in law enforcement. They both drove a light blue Chevrolet and would drive that Chevy to the exact same beach in Florida where they liked to vacation with their family. They both grew up in a house with a dog named Toy. They both had sons, and they both named their sons James Allen. They were both married twice. The first time, each of them married a woman named Linda. They both divorced Linda and married a woman named Betty. This is just observational research. It could all be chalked up to coincidence, but that just seems impossible. What this suggests is that there are genetic contributions over and above what's happening in our environment that are determining what we do and who we become. Like, where's the gene for growing up with a dog named Toy or marrying a woman named Linda and then a woman named Betty? I can't. This isn't the only example of this. There's another set of twins, Jack and Oscar, who were separated shortly after birth. One was raised in Germany and became a Nazi. The other was raised a Jew. They were reunited at some point, and despite their widely disparate environments in life, both of them thought it was hilarious to sneak up behind somebody and sneeze really loud to scare them. What's the gene for that? If any of this sounds interesting to you, you have to watch the documentary 3 Identical Strangers. It's about triplets who were separated at birth and intentionally, unethically placed in a low SES, medium SES, high SES home and were studied through their childhood to see if they could identify the distinct genetic versus environmental factors that are influencing who they become. They all, by coincidence, found each other at the age of 19, and the story goes from there. Highly recommended. All of this just speaks to how little we understand about the human condition. There aren't any scientific articles written on the Jim twins, but if you want to know more, I recommend you Google the Minnesota Twin Study and the work of Dr. Nancy Siegel. She does all things twin related. It's fascinating, you guys. Check it out.